Everybody, and welcome back again. It's time to step into the lion's den, and today I'll be doing a reading on J-Hope. J-Hope recently went live. He did a V-Live. I don't know when this is going to come out, but it was recent to now. Today's date, let me check, sorry, is Thursday, June 11th. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I do readings on K-pop and regular American celebrities and whoever else. Just leave in the comment section below who you would like to see a reading on if you're new here. Also hit that like button and hit the subscription button. Make sure you hit the notification bell if you want to be notified anytime I drop a reading. I do BTS, Blackpink twice. I'm trying to branch out into more groups, so you will be seeing more groups. I have Monster X on here, a little bit of ATs. So feel free to go ahead and check out those videos after this one. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to pull some cards for J-Hope's personality. That's kind of how I roll. I do a personality reading first. So many cards are falling out. I do a personality reading first, and then I go into kind of what their energy is for, I don't know, the rest of the year. I'm going to leave them in the positions that they are. I'm just going to, this is on its side. Okay, so also make sure if you like readings like this that you can also follow me on Patreon. If you would like to support me monetarily, I would really appreciate it. And let's get started. So for personality, the cards that we have for J-Hope is Seeker. It's in the lighter attribute. It says, thirst for wisdom, truth, and truth wherever they are. So it's just talking about basically J-Hope is someone who is constantly working on improving himself. He's got that mind and that attitude to always look towards growth, to always look towards evolving. Hold on, I'm going to change this light. Sorry if my door opens. Okay, there we go. Yeah, to always look for, to evolve himself, to grow, to just better, be a better person, and be better skilled. He looks to always constantly make sure that he can sort of maintain his role and his position by keeping himself up to date with what he needs to be up to date with. Long story short, he makes sure that he is keeping up with the youth when it comes to choreography and dance and things like that. Next, we have the Exorcist. This is in the lighter attribute. It's talking, let me try to see if I can zoom in a little bit. The Exorcist. And it's in the lighter attribute, and it's talking about freeing yourself and others from destructive impulses. This is almost talking about kind of like his role, again, in the group, or just his personality in general. He naturally is a type of person who will try to break bad habits. He is the type of person who is going to try to let people know when what they're doing is wrong, or if, you know, they're doing something that could potentially hurt themselves. He tries his best to make sure that everybody around him is aware of any destructive impulses that they have of themselves, or that may be affecting other people. Next, we have the Visionary in the lighter attribute. It says to envision what is not yet conceivable to others. Willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. So he is someone who he's someone who sees and looks for the best out of people and people around him. What I'm noticing also before we continue is there's a huge energy where it's almost like that I'm feeling everyone else before self. Like everyone else before self. That's kind of like what I'm feeling. Like I feel mostly that a lot of what he does revolves around everybody else, and it's like he comes second. That's not always a good thing for people who think that, but yeah. So yeah, it's just kind of J-Hope has high standards and high sights. Like he makes sure that, like I was saying before in Seeker, that they are always being elevated, that BTS is always being elevated, that he's always elevating himself. He doesn't want to be someone who stays stagnant. That's not something that is on his mind or his actual intention. Next, we have the damsel. It's in the lighter attribute. It says, understands the nature of healthy romance, inspires you to rely on yourself. More so, I'm getting that J-Hope is aware that he has some weaknesses. That's what I mean. Like, he has weaknesses, things that he's not good at. And it's like almost more of that he's very aware of these weaknesses. And he knows that sometimes, or he feels like sometimes these weaknesses can bring others down. And so I feel like he's sort of too hard on himself in a sense. Like I felt a sense of worried self-consciousness. He sort of has a bit of anxiety in the areas that he lacks. And he's very concerned about those areas, when they pop up. Like, he gets really nervous when things that he's not good at actually ends up popping up, and especially when it starts to become a burden for others. We have mentor on its side. So this means he has both the positive and negative traits of mentor. And it's saying the positive is passing wisdom and refining the student's character, which I was telling you before. It's like he's very good at finding the good and the bad within people, trying to help correct bad behaviors, helping people to grow out of bad habits and things like that. But it also has shadow attributes, inability to allow the student to move on, the role of master, impairing false instruction. So this is someone, J-Hope, I do get a little bit, it's like a little bit of feminism, feminine energy. It's almost like he loves to coddle. He coddles. That's what it is. He coddles, and he likes the role of taking care of others. It's almost like a cat, or an animal that is so used to and absolutely loves nurturing other people. Cats actually aren't like that, but anyway, not all of them. So he has this energy where he likes to coddle, nurture other people, and that helps him to cope with his own problems. And it's not really addressing his own problems. It's like he's aware of his own problems. And when those problems come up to him, he ends up like, oh my goodness. Okay, we have a curfew. Okay. What is going on? Another curfew? So sorry about that. I don't know what happened. So sorry about that. Hopefully I can actually cut that. If not, again, I really apologize. Okay, so wow, that just completely disconnected my train of thought. Okay, so it's like J-Hope, instead of fully facing his own fears and his own problems, when it starts to come up and he starts to get anxiety and it starts to eat away at him, what he does is he turns and he coddles someone who needs him. He goes to find someone who needs him. J-Hope unconsciously, subconsciously needs people who need him in a nurturing sense. He needs somebody to be dependent on him because it's almost soothing for him to take care of somebody else. It's almost like an anxiety soother. It just people, loving on him and giving him that energy helps him. So he does like to be needed regardless of, maybe, I don't know what he may say. He does like being needed. He does like being demanded and having to go out of his way to comfort other people. So specifically the people who are close to him. But yeah, that's what we have. Okay. So overall energy for J-Hope within the next couple of months, we're going to go ahead and see what we have for him. Didn't mean to do that at all. But I guess, oh, it's so many cards. Okay, I guess I'll just stop there. So Moon, take note of intuitive messages. Why do I feel like something. Okay, the visionary. That's what, you know, it just made me think of the visionary. Okay, you can't see the moon. Made me think of the visionary. Yeah, so take note of intuitive messages. We also have connect with your emotions, grow within your current situation, and shift your perception. So these are all talking about his personality traits that I was just talking about. God, I'm sorry, guys. Like, I can't get it together with this camera today. Yeah, these are all talking about those kind of personality quirks that he has. It is like, it's constantly telling me that J-Hope is spiritual, though. Like, he may not be spiritual, but he has spiritual gifts that seem to be popping up a lot, where he has the ability to just know things, and also the ability to see things. So it's like almost like kind of similar to Jungi, who can speak things into existence. It's like, except it's not him speaking things into existence. It's just almost like a knowing, a knowing. And he may not even speak on it at all, but he has this intuitive knowing. He just has a knowing. Yeah, because I keep seeing the eye. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to go ahead and do next is I'm just going to check on the next biggest things to be happening to J-Hope, and see if there's any big thing that will be happening to J-Hope in his personal life and his public life. We're just going to see. Hopefully we get something that's a little more public. Hopefully, okay. All right, well, I'm just dropping cards all over the place. I'm so sorry about that. Okay. So, wisdom seems to be something that keeps popping up. Wisdom keeps popping up. Like, even with mentor and visionary, it's like this wisdom keeps coming up. I think wisdom was originally in reverse, though. And we have hope. That's also in reverse. Anxiety, anxious. So, there's not too much anything big going on with J-Hope right now, but he will be going through a huge swing of emotions before he's enlightened, but, you know, before he kind of gets everything together. But we do also have this form of isolation, so I don't know if he's going to separate himself from the members for a while, you know, in order to regain some sort of happiness. I don't know if, you know, the enlightenment comes after the separation and clarity, but, you know, it could be, you know, it's just, you know what I think it is? A phase of depression that may be coming through for him. But that's probably the biggest thing that we have coming through for J-Hope as an individual, at least that I'm allowed to see. Nothing that seems to be public or publicized. Yeah, nothing that seems to be public or publicized. Just kind of like maybe like something that is like, you know, inward. Yeah, it's mostly concerns about, I mean, his effect on people is still going to be positive, is still going to be there, but he's, like I keep saying, he's mostly concerned about his growth. He's mostly concerned about where he's going. He feels he's being too hard on himself on whether or not he is, you know, as skilled as he used to be, more skilled. Is he on the same level as anybody else? Like, it's almost like he's letting anxiety eat away at who he is and what's going on with him. He's just not really letting things go as much as he may seem that he is. He's actually just concerned with his level of skill compared to everyone else. It's like he's not being less hard on himself because he's at the top, I would say. Because BTS is at the top, he's never stopped being hard on himself to keep up and to do better. And that's what we have for J-Hope overall. Overall, he's more so concerned with growing and not staying stagnant and being able to break through that glass ceiling for himself personally. But before he can work on himself, he's mostly always focused on other people. And that's the end of the reading for him. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. Let me know on who you want to see me read on next. Also, again, feel free to follow me on Patreon, where I actually dump all of my readings at first. So you'll probably be getting them by Monday. And then after that, that's everything will be uploaded onto YouTube. But until next time, everyone, stay healthy, stay clean during quarantine, okay? Bye!